guys, welcome back to my ASMR channel. Today I am doing a little story time video and maybe a life update because I don't know how long the video will be, but there was a request for a story time in the comments, I remember a while back, but it's hard for me to figure out which story time to do. I do have a lot of stories, but I just can't really put my finger on which one I want to do, right? So I could continue to do these if you guys like these ones, but anyways, let's get into the video. I am at a park right now having some Dutch Brothers. This is like a black eclipse tea, it's called. It's got like blackberry, blue raspberry, and passion fruit, I believe. And I got some little blue raspberry boba pops on top. So I'm at a park because I'm trying to test out filming here and seeing if it's quiet enough for my ASMR videos, because sometimes I don't have a quiet space, but if it's quiet here we can use this space. There is a fire station where I am at, so it is actually at this park. It's about, I would say, 100 feet away from me. And I come to this park sometimes and I have not ever seen them come out, but today I saw them come out with their lights and their sirens, so they did go somewhere, and they will be back soon. But anyway, okay, so since this is a story time video, let's start with the story time. Alright, I had mentioned to you guys that the fire truck is going to come back at some point, and here it is. Let's get into this story time. I think my car is pretty good with keeping the sound outside. It sounds pretty quiet in here, although I'm very, very hot. So that's the only problem we're having right now. Okay, let's get into the story. So, a couple years back, I think it was like 4 years back, possibly, I could be wrong, but there was this, I don't know if it was like a producer or just someone working for this show that was going to be on a local channel. And when I say local, I am from the LA and Orange County area, so anything local to that, okay? I don't know where else this show was on. Anyway, there was going to be a dating show, and the dating show is like, back in the day, there was like 3 people that would sit sort of with a like partition in between the dater, and then that dater would ask these 3 people questions without seeing them, and they would eventually pick who they wanted to go on a date with, and then that person would come out and they would meet and all this stuff. So it was, I think it's called the dating show. Anyway, so someone reached out to me from the network on my Instagram. I'm guessing that he found me maybe from like a dating site or something. Sometimes people find me from the feed, so he could have found me that way, but it's more likely that he was like searching maybe dating sites, I'm thinking, because I was like on Bumble or something at that time. So anyway, he probably found me on there, and I had put my Instagram on my dating sites sometimes, so yeah, so he messages me, right, and I'm like, I don't trust anybody, right? So I'm like, what is going on? And he says, oh, can you like apply? I want you on this dating show, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't know, like, I'm older and like maybe you need like a young girl or something like that. I was just kind of like skeptical, but I also didn't totally want to do it either. And I looked into him and I saw that it was like legit, like he was real and everything was real. So but we kind of went back and forth, and I still was like, I don't know that it's for me, like, sorry. Anyway, so later that show comes out, okay, the dating show, missed out on, So, I'm watching the show and everything, and it's a very cool show. And the show had like Michael Bolton and Zooey Deschanel on there hosting. And I think Michael Bolton was like playing the piano, and Zoe was the host. Anyway, so I'm watching the show to see like who's on there. Y'all, it is freaking Tyson Beckford. What? Did I make like the biggest mistake of my life? Yes, I did. But it's all in fun. But still, I was like, oh my god, like the celebrity dater was Tyson Beckford. Hello. If y'all don't know him, the first time I saw him was in the Toni Braxton video, Unbreak My Heart. And boy, did I just, he took my breath away, which I'm sure he took everybody's breath away. But anyway, and obviously he's like more my age group, and I don't know why I didn't think it was gonna be like my age group, even though the guy that was messaging me told me it's like all ages. I still was like, are you sure? Like, I'm kind of old. But anyway, for the people that are new here, I'm 47. So anyway, that is my story time about the time I missed out on Tyson Beckford. But anyway, he ended up picking one of the girls, and it was really cool. It was a cool show. I believe he's still single though, because he's on like some other dating show. But anyway, I mean, the shows are all in good fun, But yeah, did I screw up? Alright, I had to move my spot because people keep coming to the park and parking behind me. And I don't really want their car in my video. Anyways, although now someone else is coming. Alright, now let's do a life update. I hope you guys like that story time. I know I have like a million freaking life stories, but I'm gonna have to think about which ones to post, I want to post like cool, funny videos though, because I know it's like ASMR is supposed to be relaxing, So I don't want to post like any, crazy videos that are not, relaxing. But anyway, so now let's get to the second part of the video because, we want a little more content. So let's do a life update. Alright, I don't remember what I said on my other life update. I never do, but it's, sometimes pretty much the same stuff with like a little new stuff. So, currently my life update is that I still live out of hotels, and maybe I mentioned that before, but I do work for a hotel, and I live in hotels, and, what I mean by that is I have a P.O. box, so my residence is still, Orange County, and, I stay in hotels in different cities. So if you work for, any of these hotels, you can stay pretty much all over the world if you want to. Now, there are rules, okay? It's not just like you can live in a hotel. There are rules, and, if you don't follow them, you'll get kicked out of the plan. You don't want to get kicked out of your, like, work plan. So anyway, there's only a certain amount of, days you can stay a year with your discount, your hotel discount. And, you can stay like consecutively for 7 days, which is nice, but, you can't continue to stay with your discount. You can check out and, possibly check back in, but again, I think it's something like 30 or 40 days a year you can stay with your discount. So I haven't reached 40 days yet, but year. That was my party place. I mean, I partied locally too, but like Vegas was like it, right? So I would go several times a year. I would party there. I would stay in these, amazing Vegas hotels. And they were beautiful and lovely and, luxurious. So I realized that that's kind of what I got used to. I don't know how they are now. I haven't been in a while, but they're, in my experience, they've always been really nice. And so now when I stay at hotels, sometimes I'm like, this is not Vegas, like, this is not what I'm used to. And I'm kind of like, oh. And I realized, recently that that's what was going on. Was I was used to, staying in a certain type of place, and then some hotels are not really like up to par, I guess you could say, of, sort of the comfort and cleanliness that I'm looking for right now. Some hotels are clean and they might be comfortable too, but they're kind of like old and run downish, or they're just not renovated, and that's become a problem too. But it's okay, because I have found the hotels that I do like, and I actually love some of these. So I do think it'd be fun to kind of go hop around and show you guys the ones that I do like. And if I stay at one that I don't like, I mean, hopefully it doesn't happen, much more. But yeah, I can show you guys that too and tell you why maybe I don't like it or something like that. Anyways, so I have a lot of ideas, to vlog sort of my life now. Maybe a day in the life, and you guys can kind of see what I go through now and how my life has changed very much. I don't work full time anymore. I sort of work at my own pace. I do social media, and I work Uber Eats, and I still work as a bartender. I don't know that I would quit bartending at any point. It's kind of been something I've been doing since I was 21 years old, so that's kind of a long time. Yeah, so I don't know that, I think I'll always sort of have that somewhere in my life. But I guess I do prefer social media and working at my own pace and doing what I want to do. It's been really good for like my mental health, I would say. So before I changed my lifestyle to sort of work part-time and more on my own, I lived alone for like 6 years. So I really liked it, but there are like pros and cons to living alone. And some people, ask me about that. So the pros and cons, let me go through the pros and cons of living alone. Okay, I kind of wrote down some notes here, but so I think the challenges of living alone is that it could get lonely. So you kind of have to make sure you spend time with your friends, your family, go outside, and those sorts of things, because you could get super lonely. I have a Disney pass, as some of you know, so I would always go walk around Disney, and, it's just, there's so many people there, and so I would have a good time. But you do still need to, like, talk to people, and I do talk to people when I go to Disney. I do make friends a lot of the time, so that's sort of a good, thing to do, or just hang out with your own friends and family, or your own, do your own hobbies, but make sure you're, like, talking to people. And another issue is, like, safety as a female, but also as a male, safety is kind of a thing where you're kind of constantly, like, thinking about it and constantly watching your back, and I would be like walking to my apartment and constantly like looking behind me. I remember I did it that one time at the airport, because I worked at the airport, right? And I like walked, I remember I as I had mentioned before, for my one bedroom in Orange County went up to $3,200, so I moved out. So cons are, loneliness, safety, expensive, and, on and on. Let's go over the pros. I had my own space, a lot of space. It was very calming, very peaceful. You get to reboot your brain, your mind, and I don't know, how everybody's mind works, but I need to reboot my brain constantly, like every day. So, there's such a thing as overstimulation. Again, some people don't have it, but some people do, and I am the type of person that needs to reboot. So, that's just the way my brain works. I need a minute of like a quiet time to myself to sort of reboot my brain. And then, so the part of my rebooting my brain is like if there's too much going on, like it's hard for me to focus, and I don't know what thing to focus on. And also, I have ADHD, so that could sort of explain it too, because I think I was diagnosed with it when I was like 17 maybe, and I'm sure I had it like at birth because going back and thinking about my life, I definitely had it early on. Anyways, so because of that, if I have like 10 things to do in a day, I can only maybe do like, I will not get through all of them. I can maybe do like a couple of them. Or if I have 5 things to do, I can maybe do like 2. If it's a really good day, I can get all 5 done. But so I have been in and out of therapy since I was 17. And my recent therapist, she told me, because when I told her like all these issues, the focusing issue and stuff like that, and like being overwhelmed with like doing too many things in a day and I just can't get it done, she told me just focus on like 3 main things, right? And do those 3 things in the day. And I was like, oh, okay. What a great idea. And it was a great idea. So you can obviously do more things, but at least say like what's the top 3 most important things I have to do today, and that kind of helped me. But I do write down like 20 things, and then I do shorten the list, and that does really help. I don't know if it helps anyone else, but so that's what I've been doing. And I remember my boxing coach was like, I had told him that, I can only do 3 things a day. Now I use it as an excuse when anybody wants me to do anything. I'm like, I can only do 3 things a day. Oh my god. But my boxing coach, he was like, I don't know, we were working out, and then he said something, and he's like, okay, so you can only do 1 thing a day, right? So this is the thing. And I'm like, it's not 1 thing. Imagine if it was 1 thing. Actually, that would be a victory to me if I did the 1 thing. But yeah, I was like, it's not 1 thing, it's 3 things. Anyways, okay, so hopefully my ADHDers understand that. So I don't know if I should make like a whole video on ADHD, but another thing you need to understand when you are struggling with that is that you really need other people to do stuff for you. And this is gonna sound like so dumb and like spoiled, but it's not. You really need other people to do stuff for you. If it's not people and it's an app or a robot or whatever it is, you really, really need other people to do things for you, or simplify your life. Like, simplify your life any way that you can, okay? I don't care if that's a person, a robot, AI, an app, a calendar, your best friend, whatever. So you really need to do that. You need to have someone else doing stuff for you. I'm not the only one that's saying that. That's, it's written in books. You definitely, if you don't want to do something, you don't like doing something, or you're not good at it, have someone help you. Or just, hire someone to do it, or just be in a place where that person sort of takes over, whether that's your partner, your friend, or your family member, where they take over, those things. It could start to make you feel like useless, because you're like, oh my god, I can't do all these things. So now I just sort of accept it, and I let people help me, and I'm like, well, what am I contributing so that I don't feel useless? Y'all, I am the entertainment, okay? Did I make you laugh today? Okay, cool. Do you like hanging out with me? Do we have fun together? It's usually a yes, okay, so. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys liked my park ASMR. If you did, comment down below, and I'll make more of these. So this was a story time plus life update. And if it sounds good once I edit this and upload it, which I hope it does. Now I hear a dog barking, which I didn't hear before, but I hope you guys aren't hearing all that. Anyway, nature sounds. So yeah, I hope this video comes out good. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it was fun and relaxing and makes you feel not alone, because you're not. I'm here, you guys. I'm here for you. But yeah, I hope you guys are also having an amazing life,